Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Recording
okay.
progress.
Okay. Okay, well, I think I've gone. Should I go a little faster?
Yeah. Then, yeah, you can go a little faster.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll go a little faster. So this is about science. I was yeah, similarly, we need to insist that, for example, engineering, 60 to 70,000 people are jobless after doing engineering. The reason is they are not, the suitability matching with respect to their career versus what they have studied are not matching. They're not sure what they wanted. Okay, so we can give these examples. Then pure science is one thing which is picking up a lot. We need to insist, and these are the exams that one needs to take. So depending on the students' interest, we can give out the entrance exam, how to take, websites, etc. Similarly, for commerce, see, one thing is everybody will be stuck with CA, or last resort will be MBA. We need to tell them that there is corporate secretary and there is statistics, which is very useful for data analysis. It's not only science students who can do that, commerce students also can do this data analysis, which is most sought after profession right now. Then this actuarial science, which is related with data, is something which is also very important for commerce. It's just not CA, and they cannot keep taking up the exams and not proceeding at all. So that is one thing we need. And finally, journalism, which is a common factor for arts and commerce. They can even take financial journalism. And we can give them examples of how reports happen in economic times, etc. So arts is huge, as I said. So law, design, management, hospitality, psychology, journalism, and many more. Okay. So depending on interest, we can show this. Then there are some vocational courses after PUC. Okay. So in each of these streams. So they are similar to diploma, but they give more focus in terms of the education related with that career. So these are some of the vocational courses that they can take after PUC. And some of the direct job options, UPSC after PUC, like defense, railways, bank exams, all these are some of the options that they can take after class 10. And so now we'll come back and we'll come to the process. So what are the typical tests that we need to conduct to get the results? First and foremost, this is a guidance process, 6 types of step 2 guidance process. First, we need to understand what information they are looking for, whether they are just looking for entrance exam, or whether they are looking for suitability in terms of their interests or courses. One second, it's asking me. Okay. And then we need to collect their background information. I'll come to this little later. So these are the 6 steps that we need to do. This is very important for us as counselors. And before that, there are 5 important factors that we need to consider when we can take their background. One is duration of study. Some people may not be willing to study for long duration. They will say MBBS, then you tell them 10 years, then they'll go back. Okay, or their finance may not support for some of the long-term education. Type of work, what do they want to do? Do they want to become entrepreneurs, or they want to work in government sector or private? What is it that they want to do? And personality. I'll come to this in detail. Then subject strength, barring the marks, we need to ask them what are the subjects that they are interested. They'll say typically science. Then we need to probe them and say math or biology. So based on that, we need to help them choose the courses and passion and interest. So these are the 5 factors that we need to consider when we are taking information from the student. So I think one second, just a second. I don't know if I have put these tests differently. Yeah. So probing, this is the crux of the whole process of counseling. So they will come up with a lot of confusion. So we need to resolve their confusion, probe about their confusion, whether it is about course or career or what is suitable. And they'll come back with, is PCMB my best option? Probe about their marks. What do they want to do? And what is it best to compare to what? Is it PCB or PCM or home science? What is it? Which course has scope? What do you mean by scope? Scope means whether you want to, whether you can study further, or is it related with salary, or whether it is related with what, whether you can do business, continue to do business on your own, or you will have to keep working in a company. What does scope mean? That is something which we need to find out. What's the job with highest salary? This is typical question. Okay, I have heard this, I have heard that. They'll come back with all statistics. Then you need to literally slice this and then say, are you looking for job immediately? What are the likes of subject? What do you mean by high salary? Whether it is suitable for you, all these things we need to probe. And similarly, information questions. Requirement is information on career. So which field has lot of scope? My child is interested in computer science. What are the government jobs available? So these are all typical things which come as fact questions, as well as like confused terms like scope. No, those are the typical information sought after by the parents usually, in terms of and mostly when students come, they would know about IIT or NEET entrance exams, etc. But there are some people who will not have exposure, so we need to tell them, especially when we are talking to you about this in 10th standard. Now, coming to the self-assessment, I'll just quickly run through because I'm going to give you these slides. So if we have very little time, this is the self-assessment questions. You can also add questions to this list and then get the results immediately. Okay, it's very simple questions you can ask and then get away with this. Otherwise, I'll come to the process in which you need to form these questions. You can form yourself, but these are typical questions when they just come for one time. Then self-evaluation. I'll ask them to give them this activity and ask them to find out what their interests are, what their aspirations are. Then this is again a career exposure job list checklist list which is there. These are all you can keep adding, but adding questions you be very careful because they lose
Can
interest.
you just go back to the previous slide, Meera? I was just reading and self-evaluation. I was just reading the thing and it went off. Okay.
No. I say because we have less time, so I thought I'll share this. I'm just explaining conceptually about these slides.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, these are simple questions. You can make them up, but keep them small and smart, because the focus span for answering this question is very low. In fact, that was one of my project in MA, and I had condensed the tool of 50 questions to 25 questions. In that 25 questions itself, students found it very, I think they lost track in between. So I further condensed it. So it's important we give, it should not be maximum, it should not be more than 10 to 15.
Nowadays, pardon me, nowadays the main challenge is their span of attention.
Yeah, right. See, look at whom we are. See, we need to be very careful about our audience. look at whom we are talking about. If you are talking about 10th, their focus would have been so different. Now we are trying to get them into context. If you are talking about 9th, no, methodically we can get them in place. But 10th standard students, first we need to make them think, then make them understand where they are lacking, and then introduce all these.
Right.
So these are typical questions, 5 to 10, that you can simply give it to them and then ask them to answer. Most of them will not be able to come up with options. That's when we need to have one-on-one counseling with them. Because if you mass introduce all career options, everything, they'll get totally confused. It's important with people who are not very clear, we need to sit them and then bring it out. So then again, choosing career, what should I do? What are the alternates? That's again another important thing. When we ask them to keep career goals, we should tell them it's not one goal. You should say, okay, what if that doesn't happen? What are the next? Some 5 goals they should keep. So they cannot stick to like only MBBS. What is the other alternate? If you cannot get it into MBBS, that's something which we need to encourage them. Then values that suit the individual. You cannot keep on moving around. There was one student, actually not a student, he was into career for a long time. He came last week. It was more than an hour that I spent with him, because he has mixed, his attitude is different, very value based. He cannot tolerate anything, any lies or anything like that. And he has civil engineering as background, and he has entered into construction business, which day in day out they make up data, and this guy is supposed to sign for those. And he is moved out of that because he couldn't stand anymore. But at the same time, he's trying to approach such companies only for interviews. Then I told him, why are you wasting your time? Just now start from scratch. Now decide what you want. Then go back, do reverse engineering, and then choose only those companies where you want to work. Personality type. This is again very, very important. See, I told you this, for the same candidate, that result was very bad. That tool where they had charged him so much, it was very bad. His personality type was he didn't come out very strong in relation management, but they are recommending him to operations management, all these. First of all, first and foremost, he doesn't know the definition of those roles. So I had to explain to him what role means and what the functions are in that particular role. So I told him, when you are managing IT and other sectors in a company, be aware of the fact that you'll be dealing with those managers. You have to talk to them. You have to come in tandem with them before you take decision. So it involves strong relationship management, which is not his core strength. So ambition versus reality. So my mate's daughter came, she said she wants to do MBBS, but they cannot afford. So I told her minimum 10 years education. Are you prepared? Even if after getting scholarship, let's assume we'll make sure that you get scholarship and all that. No, parents said no. Then I told her paramedics is a next option for you. And job security. The only job security today you have is commitment for continuous personal improvement. That's all you can worry about. So these are typical questions which I give them. After introducing all this, the next set of questions that I ask them to, okay, now we have seen so many things. Now answer these questions. So there'll be slight improvement compared to the first questionnaire. Okay. Compared to this. So RISET test, I'll show you at the end of it. That's an elaborate test, but it involves everything. It's very nice, but we can condense it and use it. Now, coming to the process, how do we evaluate? Subject aptitude is something which we need to ask. They'll say, I like math. So now we need to find out How long have you been liking math? Have you attempted competition, Olympiad exams? Are you doing serious mathematic quizzes and solving puzzles, etc.? Are you sure? I mean, interested in reading other books on math or seeing TV programs? How's your hobby related to that? What's the mark score? These are typical questions that we need to follow. Similarly, for interest. So probe more and find out how much they're involved. Simply they'll simply throw words. We need to find out if they're really given a thought. And this I'm sure you'll get it in Google. This is personality type. Rhizac also gives you some similar results, but this is something where it is more. It fits the bill. When you get a score of anything, you can actually map it to these 6 categories. Doers, thinkers, okay? So I'll not get into the details. So how do you find out who they are? Is your child an active person, not sitting in one place, always trying to do? They're all doers. We call them as kinesthetics also. Then they keep asking questions, analytical questions, logical questions. They're thinkers. And then fine arts, performing arts, anything, they want something new all the time, creative. And then social, helping others, taking care. These are typical things which you can find out by probing. You don't need a questionnaire basically to do that. And then leader. So find out how they are at school, how they are in the neighborhood, ask their parents, teachers, etc. And organizing also. Are they well organized, planned, everything? They can become good managers.
Patrick, I'll take the call, okay? Coming. So please continue.
Okay. So some of the golden rules are higher the education level, better the prospects. That you should say. So just doing a degree will not be enough. You may get a job, but if you have higher degree like an MBA with the specialization, then your prospects are better. Then again, second thing is studying in a premier or good institution is always better, results in strong prospects. Because they'll have in-house, placement opportunities, etc. Then choose the right course and then a good college. Don't just run after premier college if the course does not suit you. Most of the time, if they end up getting a good college because seats are difficult, etc., whether they like it or not, they are pushed into that. So that is something where parents also need to be counseled in that. All careers are good, all courses are good, each one of them has scope. It's important that to be in a career that suits you. And to be good in a career, your personality, interest, aptitude has to match. And personality interests are more important than aptitude. Aptitude can be picked, improved as and when you move. So that's all I
Meera,
have.
Vani is waiting to be included. Meera?
Okay. Sorry. When I'm presenting, I missed that.
Okay.
Okay, there's a call.
Okay, you can.
There
You
is
are
one. No, I don't see any calls waiting.
No. Meera has joined? You're not Meera. Vani.
Vani has not joined.
Yeah, I'm in the
call.
Okay.
One is there. Okay, one is
Vani
there.
is there.
One
Okay.
is there. Okay. Now that RISAC I was telling you, typical test report, I'll show you how it looks. I have picked up something which is smaller than the other stuff. So you can easily use this. If you want to use a standard tool, which I'm going to share with all of you. See this, can you see this?
Probe the question.
Can you see this?
PPT we are seeing, madam.
You are seeing PPT?
Yeah,
Probe
we
the
are seeing
question,
step
no?
3 PPT.
Wait. Can you see now?
Yes, we are able to see.
See, this is a standard tool. This is a recognized tool. I'll tell you how each of these standard tools work through this, because normally if somebody insists that I use standard tool, I use this RISAC, because this is the simplest of the lot and it gives a good picture. So these are typical questions where students are asked to do 1 to 5. They are basically made to score here. It's 1 to 5 basically, 1 least and 5 most.
Ma'am, pardon me. Will you be sending this PDF to us?
Yeah, I can send. It's available everywhere. I can send this also.
Okay, ma'am.
I just brought it saying that these are several tools are there. We should not use too many. We should use only simple ones so that students' focus is there. So RISAC is basically realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, conventional. It gives me the score on these factors basically. Okay, so based on the score, they'll tell you how to calculate as well. So for every realistic, what are the career options that are there? All these are stated. But at the same time, we should use our common sense also. We should not just stick to this. Okay, there will be people who are actually opposing this and want to do something else. So we need to process that as well. Okay, this is one of the simplest tool. Then there is one more tool I want to show you. But this is good enough, basically.
It's very good. Because what I remember is when we were doing MA, we were taught about comprehensive interest schedule. The comprehensive interest schedule is so small that you will have to have that magnifying glass and go through each of them.
Correct.
Have you seen that? So by the time you analyze the whole thing, you yourself end up with an eye problem.
Correct. RISAC is usually, can you see this? No, you're not able to see? No, wait.
No.
1 second.
There's a call coming. Patrick is taking a call. Yeah.
There's again another small standard tool where you see these questions.
Sorry, I was on a counseling call.
Okay, Patrick.
Okay, please.
Anyway, I was discussing about the test tools that we are using. I was telling them standard simple tools are something which I'm presenting, and we can, like I showed you in the slides, we can make our own questions also once we are comfortable.
Correct.
So, so this is another test tool which is used, which gives scorings will be there, and finally at the end of it, you will be able to find out if the person is good at words, art, physical, experimental, organizational, business, and social. My recommendation to you is please use RISAC if you want to use standard tools. So if you have questions, I'll take. Otherwise, thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity and sharing this information with you.
One question, madam.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Sorry. One question, madam. This majorly there are two categories. One, the student coming in, he is looking for what career, and another one, already a person in one career, he wants to move on to a next different job or something. Is that same method or anything we need to do it different?
Different, because the person who's already in career will have limited scope. Because that skill upgrade which he needs to do, we need to really map closest to what he is looking at. Like I told you, this civil engineer is the best case who came last week. Civil engineer guy doesn't want to do civil engineering profession anymore. Okay. So now it was a bit of a challenge for me because I need to ask him to skill upgrade. He doesn't want to do IT job, programming, etc. But in any case, he has to upgrade his skills, right? So I told him do an MBA. And then in MBA, what he needs to do, his relation management is low. Okay, now we have probed everything, we have collected information. So now the only thing is something solo he can do. Okay, that is something where I told him data analyst is one of the options which he can take after doing MBA. Skills upgrade will happen. Data analysis doesn't require a lot of relation management. He needs to work only with data. So that will be the probable. It's only suggestion. And by the way, I forgot to tell you one thing. Never ever make decision for them. You can only give them advices and suggestions.
Correct. Then if not, it will come back to us only.
Exactly.
All the fingers will point.
Okay, madam.
And in case of a student, he has more options. With these results of these test tools or questions, what you have formed, you will get an idea in terms of his interest, personality, etc. So then based on that, you can throw up the options available for him or her.
Even the tools, same tools can be used, RISEC and all, even for career to career.
No, not for the person who's already in career, because the career choice, interest, everything will be very specific. They will be able to articulate. You ask them questions, they'll be able to tell you within 15 minutes, you will be able to know all the 4 parameters.
Another call is coming. Patrick, the same number. 1 second, I don't know.
Is there any standard tool for that career to career?
Kalyani, same girl.
Only a discussion.
Hello. Voice is not
tool
clear.
For somebody who's already in career, no, I have not used tools, because I get to understand what their interests are, what their personality is, and what their aptitude is. So based on these 3 with the discussion, they are very clear, because they would have burnt their fingers, right, entering into wrong field, etc. So they would have learned their lessons and they'll be able to explain to you better. Only thing is, our challenge there is to how to bring closer to what they feel they have an aptitude, and then see how they can upgrade their skills.
Okay. Now, one example, madam. Okay, in this IT, the many people are changing the company, and they will have a question. Okay, from one company, I'm moving to another. Is that okay?
See, this IT, I've been in IT industry, right, for 25 plus years. I'll tell you something. Couple of things which they need to do. Upgrading skills is a must. Okay, that you have to insist. They have to upgrade their skills. Otherwise, they'll keep hopping from one company to another all the time. And then they'll blame on the management. Sometimes it could be right. They could be on the right side. But at the same time, they need to understand how to manage their bosses as well, right? So they cannot keep hopping every company and say my boss is bad everywhere. Okay, there are some characteristics which you need to understand when they come to you for counseling. Find out what their strengths are, what their problems are. If you see a pattern of relationship management with all companies, then there is a problem that has to be rectified. And upgrade skills is something, see, most of the things, 1 second, most of the time these IT people, they won't upgrade skills. They want everything on the plate. Okay. So that's when they come back with all sorts of reasons. Find out, probe more and find out why it's happening. And then you have to tell them there's no shortcut. You have to upgrade your skills.
1 second. Patrick, do you want me to take this call, Patrick? Patrick? Nobody is answering when I'm putting answer. No, they're simply going on calling.
Hello. No, this particular girl, her phone is not clear. Now she's called more than 10 times. She cuts the call, she calls again. Correct. I told her, please leave after some time. Yeah, I know. and her phone is not clear. Lot of break is there. Please, Meera, you continue. I'm sorry.
It's showing another 6 minutes. Somebody else had a question.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
I had a question. So
Yeah.
nowadays, I don't know really on hand. I do not know, but I have heard that just like there are some companies which do only testing. They don't. It's just like the blood report. You get the blood report from there, and then analyzing we do.
Okay.
So do you know about any of those?
DMIT test. You are talking about DMIT test, the fingerprint scanning and all that.
Yes, madam. I mean, this career related to career and
related to career only.
Testing means what? See, in IT also there is testing, which has a very, very good prospects.
No. They are talking about the DMIT test, which is scanning test. Okay. So what they do is every finger, there is a 3 angle they take scanning. Now, what is the probability of you getting into IT or that and all that is being matched by, they have collected samples from so many of them, and they have made a data kind of thing, saying that something that is similar to this kind of a scan, because each and every one of our fingerprint is unique in character. So something that is shaping almost like this has got a analytical way of thinking, or is a very creative person. Like that, they have made already some thing, and they have kept, they've analyzed the data and kept, based on which they are giving you a report. And I mean,
which are
because
companies? Which is the
one,
platform?
Brain Wonder, Deya is there, Brain Wonder is there. Okay, lot of companies are there.
Okay.
Lot of companies are there. Okay. Brain Wonder is one thing that I know. They're doing that.
And to add to that, like you only mentioned in your question, there are 2 parts. One is testing, another is analysis. So you need to find out which part is interesting to that candidate.
Yes.
But nothing like face-to-face meeting and understanding the child, and doing the psychometric test that is required, and then giving a thing. Nothing like that. It's Anyway, it's got its own market. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, I think the time's up, no, Meera?
Yeah, time is up.
Can I just ask one
Fantastic.
question?
We have 4 minutes. I'm sorry, we have 4 minutes.
4 minutes
we can continue.
One last question. Can I ask one last question?
Yeah, sure.
Please, very quickly.
I just wanted to know that after 9th, when is the next level that a student can go for this kind of counseling? At which
You
stage?
see, from 9th standard,
Ninth
it has to be continuous. Like I went through this process with you, right? So it's important because 9th standard we introduce them, and then we give them time. For example, today morning one of my relatives called up. She said MBBS. I told her, be with a doctor for 1 week, whoever you know, understand how he runs the show, and then you can decide whether you want to do or not. So that luxury we'll have if we start in 9th. Okay, so it's a continuous process. We need to keep meeting them.
Okay. Yeah, that's what, because sometimes they just come once and then
no. That's if you need to find out if that is their type, and then use those short questions, and then give them idea so that they'll think about it. But if they are really interested, it is a continuous process.
Fantastic session, Meera. I think we'll have another session with you in the coming days, with so many questions that are pouring one after the other in the last few minutes, So anyway, lovely session.
Thank
you.
We'll
be sharing this video recording to all of you all. The link will be sharing. So anyway, Meera is there. Her number is there. She's just a phone call away, just like our helpline. So all of you can get in touch with her.
We still have 2 minutes if anybody has questions.
Or even after the session, you can ask me question on the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Very
sure.
nice. Very nice.
So this girl is going on calling Patrick.
Yeah, I know.
It's disturbing also. You want me to try once picking up and answering? No,
No, wait,
that's
let's finish this. Let's finish.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Okay.
It's
Before
fantastic.
We Sandhya and Padma, would you like to take a session on life skills in the next Sala the following Saturday?
That is the last Saturday, is it?
Yes, yes, yes.
month?
Not the coming Saturday, but the next, after 15 days.
Okay, I'll just check with Padma if she's not traveling or something. Then we'll.
Okay, all right. So one of you coming out with your own stress and upgrading even our knowledge will be really great. Okay.
Meera, can I speak to
Pankaj,
schools
I'll be
about
coming to you next.
about what you do?
Sorry.
Can I speak to some schools if you're willing to do?
Definitely. I'm always there for career counseling. That's because of my interest. I took that as a project as well.
Lovely. I will do that.
Okay.
I will do that.
Anytime.
Fantastic. So if there are no more, we have just a minute. We can wind off if nothing is.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Meera.
Meera.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful session.
Thank you.
Wonderful session. Bye.
Have a nice
Bye.
weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Take care.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.